284 News. My name is Javon Wilson.
I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant.
And we are so thrilled and happy to be coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. The content continues via our website, 284media.com.
In today's news, the 2021 Anegada Lobster Fest labeled a success by many as hundreds showed up to the two-day event on the sister island. And same-sex marriage not on the agenda of the VIP administration following ongoing court case with a local same-sex couple. And we also see in the region Barbados officially to become a republic effective midnight tonight. But we have a special guest joining us virtually to speak on the developments leading up to Barbados' transition into becoming a republic. But viewers, before we get to those stories, we have to first take a quick commercial break.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new season of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and, bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. This season, I'm taking you on an entirely different journey, from chefs to dancers, philanthropists, communications specialists, and much more. I'm heading outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Bojangada, Justin Lake, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing, and I'm so proud. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redirect. We are the movers and shakers of this generation, and we ain't afraid to show it. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 3 by yours truly, Ron Grant, raising a generation of greatness.
Well, a happy Monday to everyone. Welcome also to 284 News. I'm Kamal Haynes. Today is November 29th. Obviously, we had a very splendid weekend with the Lobster Fest on Anegada, viewers. So happy Monday for all who made it to work today and all who's alive today, basically following such a splendid weekend for the territory. Well, we start today's newscast with leading up from this weekend's festivities with the Lobster Fest, viewers. So we start today's newscast recapping on some of the events that transpired during Sunday's leg of the 2021 Anegada Lobster Fest. Our 284 Media provided live coverage on the island to give the viewing public an idea of what it was like to grace Anegada at the highly anticipated Lobster Fest. Or prior to boarding a ferry en route to Anegada, residents and tourists alike were asked to scan a QR code to register for the event, a new segment from the BVI Tourist Board to effectively collect data. Well, speaking on this new initiative was the BVI Tourist Board's Colonel Klein, who painted a picture of the arrangements in place for all patrons to enjoy over the 2 days of festivities.
To show that over the years, I don't know if in the past you've been here, we used to write like on these little cue cards, information gathering. So now we've stepped it up and used modern technology, and we actually are bragging about this event as our greenest event because no paper trail, so you scan the QR code. By the time you come up here to Anegada, all folks on the ground are able to scan it, have the information and say, hey, you're invited to Anegada Lobster Fest, here's your welcome bag, go about your way. In the welcome bag, you have hand sanitizer, you have a spoon, a fork, a knife, and a straw. Yeah. As well as maybe yesterday you had some beads too as well, some Lobster Fest beads around your neck too as well.
Okay.
Just to look festive. And in fact, we're still promoting green in the fact that you don't need a plastic forks or the plastic spoons at the restaurant to eat. You have your own utensils right there.
Okay. And in terms of the activity, can you give me a summarized version of how many persons you would think would have perused the Anegada Lobster Fest over the last 2 days?
I don't want to give an exact figure right now until it's actually finished, because we see yachts still coming in, we see speedboats still coming in. So I don't want to give an actual count right now, but we've seen some people. We've seen some people, and the businesses are quite happy in terms of the bounce back. The businesses said yesterday it wasn't so much people, but big spenders. And today's a lot heavier crowd too as well, because yesterday we only had like two ferries and 2 badges yesterday.
How many ferries today?
Now today is 4 ferries and 2 badges.
Okay.
So with that being said, it's double the amount of yesterday. So I'll give you a count at some point in time, but I want to be accurate.
Okay.
I don't want to give you no misquote.
Understood.
You know?
And also to speak about what the tourist board are doing throughout the island for the other activities, because I know there are several different venues that persons can go to get different types of lobster dishes.
So there's 9 participating restaurants, and each participating restaurant have these scratch cards. So once you go by the restaurant and you sample lobster, in terms of even sampling lobster, or you get the whole lobster, because some people don't want to sample, somebody want a whole lobster. Once you taste lobster at all, you get the scratch card, and whether you're a winner or a loser, we come back to tourist board. We have 4 different prizes. I wish I had them to show you. It's a bag, it's a water bottle, it's a sippy cup, and it's a bento box, like a lunch box. 4 different prizes, and you pick one, and you're able to retrieve a little prize, to be able to go home with. Some people are so excited to get something to go home with from Lobster Fest. So the 9 participating restaurants are Potters by the Sea, Anegada Reef, Lobster Trap, Pink Flamingo, Sid's, Pomato Point, Correct, Tipsy's, Big Bamboo, and Flash of Beauty. Okay. So how Lobster Fest is, it's not a central area. It's people come to the dock, gather here, and then they just disseminate to the different restaurants. Okay. So hence you see, here is the welcome area. We welcome them with a welcome shot, get them in the groove with a little bit of music, get them in the groove to be able to go to the other restaurants and see and party on.
Well, welcoming patrons on the island of Anegada was owner of the On the Rocks, Robert Swade Jr., who was part of the BVI Tourist Board's delegation. Well, he spoke to his role and the feedback received from patrons who were able to sample his one-of-a-kind flavored painkillers.
Well, today we're here with the Tourist Board, and our main job was to just welcome the guests with some of our flavored painkillers. So we had passion fruit, mango, and pistachio painkiller, and pistachio seems to be the favorite today. We're also here with our Akim Johnson, one of the local steel panists. He's also with the Tourist Board for the last couple of days. And across the street, we have Right Way doing their stuff as well. So it's just been a good morning, welcoming guests, seeing their happy faces, making sure that they're good and ready to get started for the fest.
And speak about the liquor of choice, the shot of choice that persons would have been giving feedback on. I'm sure all are favorite, but there must be 1 or 2 that they would have singled out.
Well, yeah, they did actually, and as I said before, the pistachio was a favorite one that they had, and it's all flavored painkillers, which is not something the BVI is really used to, or anywhere actually in the Caribbean. Nobody really does flavor painkillers, so once people heard that it was a painkiller and they heard it was flavored, they like it. But pistachio seems to be the best selling one today.
Okay, and there's a few on display right here. Can you show me 1 or 2? I know most are sold out, viewers. Most are sold out, but there's still a few that he can just show us regarding what they would have been displaying this morning. And as you can see, this one here, just describe it to the viewers.
So you have the green, the pistachio, passion fruit, and mango. So these are the sample cups that we've been giving out all morning.
Okay. And what is the rest? What is the rest of the schedule for the day look like for you today? Once you're finished, are you done? Are you?
Well, my bartenders on the rocks. We're gonna be over at the Anegada Reef Hotel by that event there today. I think they have the Fuse DJs as well over there. So we're just gonna be over there. We're gonna be back and forth, giving out shots, giving out different things, giving out different samples until the day is done.
How would you rank yesterday and today regarding the Lobster Fest this year?
Pardon?
How would you rank the Lobster Fest this year in terms of activity, in terms of turnout, etc.?
It's been really good. The food especially has been really good. There's been a lot of people coming on private boats as well, not just the ferries. And today I think we have double the amount of people over here than yesterday, so that's good.
Well, 284 Media also caught up with the owner of the popular Big Bamboo restaurant on Anegada, Mrs. Diane Levins. Well, she said Sunday's leg of the Lobster Fest brought back memories of how activity was in Anegada at the fest in 2017.
It took me back in the year 2017. What happened at the Big Bamboo today? It was exactly like that in 2017. As you can see, a great day, lots of people. The music is nice, and that's what the Big Bamboo is about, making people happy.
I know you just mentioned about, today reminded you about back in 2017. Just for those viewers who may not have been here for 2017, can you speak and just paint a picture of what happened today in particular that would bring back those memories?
What we see today is what happened in 2017. The crowd, very, very, very large crowd. Understand? The people were nice. And today, the 9th year in the Lobster Fest, I don't think anybody in Anegada would forget. Been a great day.
And speak about the menu, speak about what would have driven persons to come here.
Our menu today was, we had the lobsters, then on the buffet, we had chicken, ribs, fish, goat, pork, and conch. And people love the buffet.
Well, viewers, and to round off what most termed to be a successful 2021 Lobster Fest were CCT's ambassador DJ Carly Cartel, who spoke to Deputy Director of the BVI Tourist Board, Mr. Ronnie Skelton, and DJ McMillie. Well, let's take a look at what they had to say.
Yo, we outside in Lobster Fest 2021. Thank you, no?
Man, it was a great success. I want to thank everybody for coming out. We know the challenges we have with, the pandemic and what's going on.
Yes.
We try to be as safe as possible. You see me with my mask on. Doing everything possible to try to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, the reason why we don't have no mask right now is because we drinking.
Of course.
Actively.
Yeah,
Active
drinking.
Active drinking.
McMillie, tell them.
Listen, Lobster Fest 2021 was a success, man. I had an awesome time, real awesome time. It's good to see we pushing forward despite what's going on. You check. I hope to see many, many more things in the future. Big up yourself.
We saw the premiere here.
Yeah.
We saw the Minister for Natural Resources. Everybody being safe, and that gives you a sense of confidence in what we're doing going forward. So we had a good time. We slugs down, but we were safe.
Of course.
Hey, let me tell you, right? I had the best lobster.
Where?
By correct.
Correct.
I don't want to say it because I feel like I'm being biased.
My best one was by Sid's. Where your best one was?
And you got a hotel reef.
So that means all the damn
All
lobster
of them good. Once you come and you got lobster them good. They should be from the
Listen.
same place, I guess.
Let me tell you why my was the best. They melt butter for me.
Especially for you?
Just for me.
Check your cholesterol. I don't see you on the road running, but make sure you run. Anyhow, 284 Media also a great partner of ours. Thank you guys for helping us to promote
Love
the
alone.
association. Anegada, it was nice. Next year is the 10th anniversary.
Wow.
10.
So we're doing it bigger and better.
Yes.
Good.
10.
Well, viewers, that was CCT's ambassador DJ Carly Cartel, who spoke to Deputy Director of the BVI Tourist Board, Mr. Ronnie Skelton, and DJ McMillie. Well, viewers, up next, same-sex marriage not on the agenda of the VIP administration following ongoing court case with a local same-sex couple. And we have joining us live virtually a special guest from Barbados who will be speaking on Barbados' transition to a republic effective midnight tonight. But before we get to those stories, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, Premier Andrew Foy has made it abundantly clear that same-sex marriage is not on his government's agenda and will not be, at least for the time being. Well, the Premier issued a comment on the subject following a question which was posed by local media during last Friday's press conference. Well, the question stemmed from a current case which is presently before the BVI courts regarding a local same-sex couple who are attempting to have their marriage fully recognized in the territory.
Same-sex marriages won't become a reality.
Well, I would say right now, I don't see it as something that I'll be pushing. But then again, there's a law, there's a case that's happening, and we have to see what is happening. It's not one of those things on my agenda at all. And it's no offense to anyone. I know that these things create some stir, but it's at the end of the day, I don't want persons to be wondering what I'm thinking. It's not one of those things on my agenda.
While Premier Foy also made it clear that while his religious belief is against same-sex marriages, he personally respects the decision of all persons in how they pursue their chosen lifestyle. Well, he said the prospect of same-sex marriage becoming a reality in the BVI would be dependent on the ruling of this present case, which could act as a precedent for all future similar related cases. But until such a decision is made, he said, the present law on the subject stands.
I've always made it clear my religious belief doesn't allow me to move in that direction. So I'll have to see what's happening. But that has always been my Andrew Foy's mindset.
So what about the government's
so with that in mind, obviously there's some legal challenges, and we'll have to see how that goes. But it's nothing against the persons. But I want you to understand, I don't ever look down on anyone. Well, we all have our own religious beliefs and stance, and that's one that I personally have. But at the end of the day, the law has to take its course, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But I don't believe in hiding what I believe in what I'm doing. Sometimes it's taken out of context by those who want to create mischief. I think that everyone is God's children, and He loves us all. It's up to us what we want to do, and I wish everyone well, no matter what they choose. I am not against persons as individuals, but just in terms of my religious upbringing, I stated that. But I really do respect anyone, each and every individual, man or woman.
Well, viewers, the couple filed a constitutional motion following a decision by the Registrar General on February 2nd, 2021, not to issue them with a marriage license on the basis that the applicants were of the same sex. Well, the duo is seeking a declaration that the marriage between them, which took place in the United Kingdom on July 5th, 2011, but was in effect from July 28th, 2011, is valid under the laws of the BVI. Well, another overseas territory which was also faced with a similar case earlier this year, and that is that of the Cayman Islands, where a legal battle over the issue of whether same-sex marriage should be legalized was heard before the Privy Council in the United Kingdom. Well, the appellants in Cayman, Chantal Day and Vicky Bodden-Bush, took their case to the UK's highest court with the hopes that it would side with the Cayman's Grand Court and make same-sex marriage legal in Cayman. Well, according to the Cayman Compass, Day and Bodden-Bush was denied a marriage license in 2018 after their application was rejected on the basis that the marriage law defines marriage as a union between a man and a woman as husband and wife, end quote. Well, the Compass reported that in March 2019, the Grand Court found in their favor, ruling that preventing same-sex marriage was incompatible with the Cayman's Bill of Rights, as set out by the Constitution, which guarantees the right to private and family life. Well, viewers, up next we have joining us live virtually journalist Kareem Smith from Barbados Today, who will be speaking on Barbados' transition to becoming a republic effective midnight tonight. While we get to that story when 284 News return.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Well, welcome back, viewers. As promised, I have with me a very special guest all the way from Barbados. He is Kareem Smith, a journalist from one of the leading online media houses in Barbados. This is Barbados Today. Welcome, Kareem.
Thank you.
Well, he's here basically to speak on the developments of Barbados as the country transitions to a republic effective midnight tonight. So Kareem, for those viewers who are not aware of what's going on in Barbados, obviously you're here to just explain, and give somewhat of a detailed description of what's going on in Barbados right now and what's have been transpiring over the last few days, the last few months, up until this very big moment.
Okay, so this is a process that would have started over a year now when Governor General Dame Sandra Mason would have given that now famous throne speech in which she declared that it was time for us to leave our colonial past behind and move towards becoming a republic. And I mean, over the last few months, it has been quite low key in Barbados. It's something that persons knew was going to happen, but there really hasn't been much talk about it up until a few days when we started to see a whole rush of cultural events, town hall meetings, etc., that are precursors essentially to that transition to republicanism. Now, the transition is purely ceremonial in that the Queen is the the Governor General is the representative of the Queen in Barbados, and at around midnight that will change and we will inaugurate our first president. On another level, it also is considered to be the final step towards self-governance for a country that has a history steeped in slavery like many of the other CARICOM and Caribbean territories, and a history that has been steeped in colonialism as well. So the symbolism of having some person in the highest office of the land who is not from Britain and who is now Barbadian and represents all things Barbadian, I think is very significant about the next, what's going to take place in the next few hours.
And I know you mentioned regarding a very important part where you said that, it was a bit low-key in Barbados over the last few days, over the last few months since the announcement from Governor General Dame Sandra Mason regarding the whole topic of republic and the island going republic effective midnight. But as you said, recently, over the last few days, probably a week or two from previously, there were meetings held basically to somewhat inform the public on what is going on. What is the general feedback from the Barbados public regarding this whole notion of going republic?
Yeah, well, over the last few days, I personally would have been going out into various communities around the capital city, Bridgetown, to kind of get a feel as to what persons were thinking, because I knew that this was a question that was going to come up. And I wanted to have a very broad base of information as to how members of the public perceive these developments. And there are pockets within the academic community here. There are pockets within the political class of persons here, persons who are heavily affiliated politically, etc., who are extremely excited about these developments. And for me personally, I think that it's a very exciting moment because of the study of history and knowing and understanding everything that the British Crown has represented for Barbados' mostly Black population. But on the other hand, as you speak to, taxi drivers, vendors, persons in the tourism industry, there is still a very large section of the population that has not fully been able to grasp it. A large section of the population that feels as though they have not been adequately informed. And even though they know in principle, yes, the Governor General will become the president, there are a lot of questions about what that means for the average man. And it's very difficult to kind of explain what it means to the average man, because unless there was a period of education where persons were, would have had a bit of a refresher as to what the Crown meant to Barbados and the history of colonialism and the history of slavery. Because in my mind, many people seem to be of the view that although the Queen was technically the head of state, in their minds, the Governor General has always been the head of state, and Dame Sandra Mason moving towards being the president is really nothing significant in their mind. And also there are persons in the academic community who have shared the view that if you want to make a transition of this nature, that the general masses of people have to be brought along, because it's supposed to be a moment of celebration, and it has not really been a moment of celebration. Of course, there are going to be fireworks. Of course, there are going to be cultural displays, but those are all things that are sponsored by the state. And what you would have wanted to see was a kind of grassroots excitement, where just as would have occurred at independence 55 years ago, everyone feels included and everyone feels excited about the moment, and we just haven't had that just yet.
And you spoke about Governor General Dame Sandra Mason becoming the first president of Barbados effective midnight. I know there was a little controversy regarding her voting to elect her as the first president of Barbados from the opposition senator recently. What has the general feeling been regarding the decision to, elect Dame Sandra Mason as the first president, without going to the public to vote for this? What has the general consensus been from your perusal of the public?
Yeah, but I don't really get the impression that the public cares too much, because they would not have been included in, the election of the Governor General. The Governor General is generally appointed by the Prime Minister of Barbados, and I'm not sure that persons truly expected that they would have had to go to the polls to make this, to legitimize this decision, but they definitely wanted to be consulted. I think the issue that you referred to initially, that's very, very small in people's minds. And the opposition senator wasn't really calling for a referendum, so to speak, but his call was more so about the process that took place on the day. And there's a general feeling that was really nothing significant to keep a whole fuss about. And the opposition leader who sits in the lower house of parliament also expressed his full support for the move towards republicanism. So I mean, perhaps a referendum would have allowed for the type of public education that would have been necessary, but there are also those who argue that a referendum on issues of this nature is usually an opportunity for opposition parties to oppose for the sake of opposing, and that can tend to resonate a lot with people. It's said by political pundits that referendums or referenda in the Caribbean are hardly ever successful because of the overwhelming opposition sentiment. Persons, there was a rumor recently that Barbados is now being taken over by China, and it would become Little China. So, I don't necessarily think that we needed a referendum on it, but certainly that level of public awareness and public education, as I said before, is notably absent.
Understood. So let's speak about tonight's ceremony at 11 p.m. We obviously know that His Royal Highness Prince Charles would have entered Barbados yesterday to attend the ceremony, obviously to officially hand over, quote unquote, hand over Barbados fully as a republic to the President, Dame Sandra Mason, and the Prime Minister, Mayor Motley. So just speak about what to expect tonight.
Yeah, well, His Royal Highness will have a front row seat as Barbados, the British monarchy loses yet another one of their, realms, so to speak. And yeah, it starts probably from my understanding, between 6:30 and 7 up until about midnight in Independence Square, which is a very historic place, and became even more historic when we took the decision to remove Lord Nelson, a British naval captain, from the National Hero Square. That is where it's going to take place. And there will again be a lot of cultural celebrations, music, dancing, a lot of activity, but unfortunately, because of, again, the COVID-19 situation, we don't expect that many people will be allowed to attend. So in the minds of some persons, it is as if this event, even though it will be broadcast live, of course, persons would have wanted to be there in person, and it's felt to a large extent that this event is for high-level members of government, diplomatic personnel, visiting heads of government from the CARICOM and the wider region. Those are the persons who will really be in attendance, and of course the Barbados media and a raft of other members of the international media. But later in the evening, we expect His Royal Highness to arrive along with the Prime Minister of Barbados, the Governor General, who is the President-elect, and we expect to hear an address from His Royal Highness as well as the Governor General. And I think it will be very interesting to hear what both of those people have to say, a bit more so what the representative of a monarchy says when one of his subjects, so to speak, decides to move away from that arrangement. So I think it's going to be very interesting at closer to midnight, which is on the doorstep of our Independence Day, which is celebrated on November 30th. The official transition will take place. There will be firework displays, and there are a number of large screens across the country for public viewing. So I mean, it is hoped that the fanfare and excitement will at some point translate to the masses. And for now, we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, there you have it, viewers. A very comprehensive explanation of what is to take place and transpire tonight in Barbados as the island basically transitions to becoming a republic. Kareem, I want to thank you very much for your time in allowing to paint a very vivid picture here to the viewers in the territory of the British Virgin Islands, as well as the wider Caribbean, for those persons who tune in from neighboring islands and other places. I want to thank you very much, Kareem.
My pleasure being here. Thank you, Kamal.
Well, there you heard it, viewers. Kareem Smith, that's all we have for today's newscast. Be sure to follow us at 284 Media on Facebook. I'm Kamal Haynes. Look forward to hearing you tomorrow, guys. Have a great evening.